Hi, it's Panda Movies here. Today I'm going to explain the Japanese horror movie called Cure. Warning, there are spoilers ahead. Enjoy the video. Kenichi Takabe is a police investigator who is married to a mentally ill woman. Takabe investigates a series of strange murders in which each victim is murdered in the same manner, with a huge X carved into their neck, but the murderer is different each time. The murderers are always apprehended near to the crime scene, and while they readily confess to the killings, they never have a compelling motivation and are unable to explain why they killed. Takabe and a psychologist named Sakuma eventually figure out that one man is the common link connecting the killings, as each individual he meets commits a murder shortly after. Mamiya, the man, appears to have severe short-term memory loss. He looks to be continuously confused about the day, where he is, and what his name is. He claims to have no recollection of his past. Takabe's interrogation is repeatedly met by Mamiya's evasive queries about Takabe's identity. Takabe becomes increasingly agitated as he loses his initial calm. The futility of the lawsuit begins to impact his mind, and he gets increasingly agitated, exploding in violent outbursts. Takabe learns that Mamiya was formerly a psychology student who studied mesmerism and hypnosis. He discovers that Mamiya is a master of hypnosis, capable of implanting criminal notions in the minds of strangers by exposing them to repeating sounds, the velocity of water, or the flame of a lighter. Sakuma discovers a videotape of a strange guy, thought to be the founder of Japanese mesmerism, in an archive and presents it to Takabe. In the late 1800s, a guy is shown hypnotizing a woman. She was being treated for hysteria and was fascinated by the man who made a X gesture in midair. Later, the woman murdered her son in a manner identical to Mamiya's. Sakuma believes the recent crimes are linked to the past ones, portraying Mamiya as a ceremonial murder missionary. Sakuma is revealed to have drawn an X on his wall involuntarily after viewing the footage, and begins to suffer hallucinations of Takabe menacingly cornering him. Several days later, the police discover Sakuma's body in his home and conclude that he committed suicide. Meanwhile, Mamiya is jailed and charged with incitement to murder. Takabe fascinates Mamiya, probably because he can't force him to kill. Takabe, on the other hand, is plagued by visions of his dead wife, and the more he studies Mamiya, the more he fears he's going insane. The investigator becomes enraged by his wife's powerlessness, and at one point proclaims murderous intent towards her. He had his wife committed to a mental hospital because of her unusual conduct and fears about his own mental stability. Takabe chases Mamiya to a desolate building in the forest and shoots him when he escapes, killing a policeman and a doctor in the process. Takabe discovers and listens to an ancient phonograph cylinder that includes a scratchy recording of a male voice repeating what appear to be cryptic hypnotic instructions while exploring the building. The next scene shifts to Takabe's wife being committed to a mental institution. A nurse hears a squeaky sound behind her and goes around to see Takabe's wife in a wheelchair, her neck cut with an X. The film ends ambiguously in a restaurant, where a waitress serves Takabe before abruptly drawing a knife after speaking with the detective, implying that the phonograph's hypnotic power has spread.